Once you are an Olympian, you will always be an Olympian, but most athletes will only be able to compete in the Games maybe once or twice. Roald Bradstock is 62 now, but the Olympics have become a lifelong obsession for him. He's an athlete and an artist, and he's made his mark on the Games in more ways than one. They call him the Olympic Picasso. Roald Bradstock used to be an Olympic javelin thrower, then he threw himself into the arts, immortalising athletic prowess and the spirit of the Olympic Games.
So this is Pierre de Coubertin, the founder of the modern Olympic Games. And if you get a zoom close up on it, it's actually entirely made up of the Olympic values: respect, excellence and friendship.
Bradstock always knew that he wanted to be both an athlete and an artist, and even when he was throwing, he wore his art on his sleeve. But it wasn't until he'd finished competing that he realised just how similar the two pursuits are.
I thought they were different, and when I realised that they were the same, and I made that connection, then everything just kind of clicked. I did feel very fortunate to be able to have two talents and two passions that I've now managed to join together.
What skills or characteristics would you say would make an Olympic athlete a good artist, a good creator?
Well, let me put it this way. I thought it was hard being an Olympic athlete. Nothing compared to art. So I look at it as my athletic career was preparation for my artistic career. You know, just the rejection, the frustration. Olympic athletes are trained to be very goal-oriented, long and short term, to overcome obstacles, to be creative. So it's like almost like a jigsaw puzzle. But I'm creating the jigsaw puzzle and solving it at the same time.
As an athlete, there are going to be hard days, probably lots of them. It's not easy being an artist either. How would you compare the worst days of each experience?
I think the hardest thing for me was probably the mental part, the psychological, just the stress, especially getting close to competition and knowing, especially with the Olympics. And then as an artist, I can't really think of bad days I have doing art. Even when it fails, to me it's like, okay, I'm pushing myself.
Bradstock says that he always felt like a bit of an outlier, that he was never quite accepted by the arts or the athletic community. But he says that's now changing, and he's even stopped selling his work because he's afraid he'll undervalue it. And he also feels a certain destiny is at play. This summer's Olympics are back in Paris for the first time in a century, and it's now exactly 150 years since the French capital hosted the first ever Impressionist exhibition.
My goal was always to promote sports arts as a legitimate subject matter, and I've overshot it and created this new genre, Olympism. You know, and so going back from 150 years, and I didn't realise how much. I always knew French artists and French movements and stuff have really influenced me as an artist.
Bradstock is already looking ahead to the Los Angeles Games in 2028 and is planning to spearhead the growing Olympic artist movement. His art is his legacy, but how would he like to be remembered?
Well, to be remembered would be good for a start, period. Now, remembered for what? Yeah, that might be a little different. I don't know, I think it's just if I was remembered for being creative and really pushing the boundaries. I mean, basically it's to show the fact that athletes are more than not one-dimensional, and just kind of really just pushing the limit as an athlete, as an artist.
What a treat it was to hang out with the inspirational Olympic Picasso.